Not a day goes by that I don't regret letting Sabjorn get as far as he did. In only a few short years, he's taken that bile he calls mead to market, and a chunk of my profits with it.
Skyrim is known for its many unique blends of mead. Mead was and is the backbone of Nordic culture. The various festivals and traditional feasts that signify Skyrim's culture rely on the inherent production of its locally brewed meads. People from all over Tamriel flock to Skyrim to enjoy the different shades of taste that Skyrim's various honeybees infuse into its mead. As of the 4th era in Skyrim though, there have been two quite formidable meaderies that have been at odds up until recently. And as we all probably know, the Black-Briar family owns the most famous meadery in Skyrim, and it probably dates back 100 years or so. It influenced many of the local meaderies we haven't been shown, but it has also put many out of business. Maven Black-Briar in all of her glory makes sure to annex and ruin potential competition, thus creating a monopoly over those who've decided to support her, and complete eradication of those who've decided to resist her. Regardless, Black-Briar mead can be considered as one of the finest brews in Skyrim up until a certain meadery crept its way into the scene, the Honningbrew Meadery. Hey there everyone, this is Xith, and today I'm going to be presenting the full story of the Honningbrew Meadery, and how its owner can meet a potentially debilitating end. Now, the Honningbrew Meadery is no exception to the well-perpetuated anecdote many Nords are so eager to spread. It produces Honningbrew mead, a uniquely blended mix of honey from Whiterun's honeybees and certain spices that the owner himself uses. The Honningbrew Meadery is located on the outskirts of Whiterun, and the aforementioned mead it produces seems to be a superior and cheaper alternative to Black-Briar mead. This subtle superiority attracted the attention of the Black-Briar family and a certain quest in the Thieves' Guild of Riften. This quest expands upon how the Black-Briar family decides to rid themselves of this pesky little competitor. If one does indeed follow the Thieves' Guild questline, a quest called Dampened Spirits will have you talk to Maven Black-Briar, and her wish is to eliminate the Honningbrew Meadery because of its rapid growth in customers and popularity, something the Black-Briar family cannot afford to let slip past their everlasting eye of greed. Now, moving on to Sabjorn, the owner of Honningbrew, is unfortunately experiencing issues with a skeever infestation, a factor Maven could exploit to frame Sabjorn and his meadery altogether. The meadery consists of two buildings, the meadery itself and the boilery that helps Sabjorn oversee production. The boilery seems like an important asset to Sabjorn, and it's usually locked up tight, as to avoid any potential breaches in security. The interior of this meadery houses a bar/shop of sorts, most likely for recreational purposes. Beyond this posterior shop lies the inventory of the entire meadery, and directly above that, Sabjorn's own private residence. The inventory leads to a supposed one-way basement, which will soon develop into something far more sinister than initially thought. Mead barrels seem to fill the inventory, yet it all seems so poorly secured as well, making potential sabotage an easy exploit. Disregarding that, Sabjorn's private residence is in the same segment, allowing for the player to further investigate the meadery's external matters and affairs. And notes which can be found scattered throughout the room indicate that Maven Black-Briar contacted Sabjorn on numerous occasions to form a fruitful friendship with him and eventually annex the meadery altogether. Sabjorn never wrote her back though, and kept an adamant stance on procuring a legacy for himself, one that wouldn't be represented under the Black-Briar name. So now we can grasp why Maven wanted this meadery. There's obviously an alluring factor at play that so desperately attracts the Black-Briar family. Moving on to the sinister basement I mentioned earlier, this basement appears innocent at first, but upon closer inspection one can notice a bulge in the wall that leads to a shady cave. And this is where the influx of skeevers seem to derive from. But in this case, the skeevers aren't your regular pests. These skeevers have been alchemically altered during their incubation period, making them innately venomous. And these are called Venomfang skeevers. The person who altered their genetical composition through alchemical means is an alchemist/mage called Hamlin, and this person inhabits the cave system alongside spiders, and his journal explains why and how he bred this unique batch of skeevers. He harbors a sizable amount of resentment for the College of Winterhold and even Whiterun itself. He claims to have been forcefully expelled from the college due to his affinity towards immoral and outrageous alchemical experiments. and even after being expelled, he continued to practice his methods in Whiterun, which indeed did land him in jail. After effortlessly escaping the dungeon of Whiterun though, he settled in the basement of the Meadery, abusing Sabjorn's oblivious nature and exploiting the skeever nest he found below. He vowed to build an army of Venomfang skeevers to exact revenge upon the college and Whiterun for their indifference towards him. Obviously, if you're contracted to poison the Mead, one has to slay Hamlin and poison the skeever nest he used to build that aforementioned army of his, but it's still interesting to see what could have been and how plausible Hamlin's plan was. I mean, don't get me wrong, it does sound a bit ridiculous, but these skeevers of his are ruthless and dangerous. There's a secret passage which also leads to the boilery from this cave system, and upon entering the boilery, we can witness the glory of this meadery and how authentically made the mead truly is. After Maro tastes and apprehends Sabjorn for serving him tainted mead, Malice, a loyal accomplice of Maven, takes over the entire meadery and eventually replaces all of the 300 barrels of Honningbrew Mead with Black-Briar Mead, also changing the sign in front to indicate that it's now a Black-Briar Meadery. But even though this was a nefarious task and Maven did indeed ruin the life of Sabjorn, my question to the viewer is, which mead do you prefer? Honningbrew Mead, Black-Briar Mead, or the generic Nord Mead? Because many accounts in Skyrim claim that Honningbrew Mead slowly started creeping up the chain to challenge the Black-Briar Mead with its exquisite sweetness and authenticity, and this may be why Maven decided to take such a tyrannical stance and swift course of action against Sabjorn's operation. But what I've gathered from this topic as a whole is that I wish there was an alternative route you could have taken in regards to Sabjorn and his skeever infestation. You can only deal with the infestation if your initial motives were to nefariously poison his mead. There's no possible way to help Sabjorn and his meadery prosper so it could outmatch Maven and her gang of entitled rebels. Now, I also adore the scenery of the Honningbrew Meadery, because the plains of Whiterun were always majestical to me, and they continue to mesmerize me with its simple beauty. If the fate of the Honningbrew Meadery is indeed canon, then I hope Maven is delivered a fitting dose of karma for what she has done to the honest working citizens of Skyrim. Thank you for watching the video once again, and I do hope you don't mind these shorter projects of mine because I'm pretty busy in real life as it is. So I hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.